Today we're looking at Amelanchier Lamarckii, commonly known as Juneberry or serviceberry. Now this is a beautiful, small, multi-season tree that also has fantastic ornamental and edible qualities. So let's take a deep dive into why it deserves a place in your garden. Amelanchier Lamarckii, also known as Juneberry or snowy mespelus, is native to North America, but has naturalised across Europe. It thrives in temperate zones because it's adapted to a wide range of conditions, tolerating cold winters down to around -25°C and coping well with seasonal rainfall. It can withstand both drought and wet conditions, making it resilient in varied climates. This adaptability, along with its frost-hardy spring flowers and tolerance for different soils, makes it a great choice for gardens in the UK and similar temperate regions. One of the characteristics that I absolutely adore about Amelanchier are these beautiful blushed pink buds. They actually appear very early and break bud round about mid-March here in Cornwall in the UK, which is much earlier, probably 2 or 3 weeks earlier than my apples. Now, when these buds turn to leaf, they come out as a gorgeous coppery bronzy colour. That then turns to a really, really radiant lime green, and that's coupled with some gorgeous little white blossoms. They're not particularly fragrant, but on a warm, still day, they do have a lovely, sweet muskiness about them, which as you walk past this tree on the entrance to my garden, gives you a lovely warm welcome to the garden. Something I've never heard discussed with Amelanchier is the ornamental nature of its bark. You often hear that with that kind of white bark of a birch tree or the metallic bark on a cherry. But what I love about Amelanchier is it's old before its time. This little tree here only went in probably 4 years ago, and the bark already looks kind of gnarly and old, and it adds so much character to a garden, particularly with a multi-stem specimen such as this one. You can see these Juneberry buds about to open into flower now. Creamy white, sweet smelling blossom. And at the base of those buds, you can see the coppery leaves that are also on their way. They're a really nice combination. I actually think the restio, which is the reed-like grass in the background, is a fantastic composition as well. The two plants move completely differently and they have really contrasting colours. And in a breeze, which we've got today, you can see that restio swaying with a different tempo to the Juneberry, and that kind of composition just adds interest and character to gardens, makes them interesting places to spend time. So let's get on to the edible parts of this lovely little tree. Now, the first one that I want to talk about are the buds themselves, because they have such a unique flavour and it really is nice. The closest thing that I can think of is marzipan. It's like a cross between marzipan and lettuce. I've never seen this on a menu anywhere, but it's absolutely fantastic. And if you're looking to diversify and make your food a bit more exciting and a bit more cutting edge in terms of ingredients, I think this is a great one. It would go brilliantly with baked goods. It could be tossed on a salad, perhaps as the blossoms open. It could be used as a garnish, or even folded through a Battenberg cake or something. Absolutely fantastic ingredient. I'd really highly recommend giving this a try if you're an adventurous chef. To be fair, probably have to keep this away from my dad. He would smash every bud on the tree if he knew it tasted like marzipan. Juneberries are about the same size as a blueberry, and they ripen to a deep blue-purple colour. They have a marzipan apple sweetness to them, and they really are delicious straight off the tree. No need to be cooked at all. So in summary, the Amelanchier Lamarckii or Juneberry is a fantastic little tree for an edible family garden. It's a manageable size at 8 metres tall by 4 metres wide at the crown, very often available as a multi-stem specimen, and it works fantastically with that architectural structure. It's really hardy, down to -34°C, so you won't lose this to frost in the UK, or most of the temperate world in fact. It's deciduous, so it'll drop its leaves every winter, and it has shallow, branched, fine roots, which makes it relatively safe around buildings. It has blossom, beautiful white flowers, and lovely autumn colour as well. It's a really edible plant. The buds, the blossom, young bronze leaves and the berries are all edible in one format or another. The berries are really sweet straight off the tree. You don't have to cook them. There's no astringency to them when they're ripe. Very sweet indeed. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 in terms of its edibility. Its culinary uses are really broad and varied too. You could use them in salads, in baking. You could cook the leaves or use them in a tea. And the berries can be eaten raw or made into jams. Really versatile plant. If you were going to propagate this, semi-hardwood cuttings in late summer and autumn would be the best way, and you would expect them coming into leaf the following spring. So I would highly recommend this tree.